that they could use then to keep up with the teacher. Again, it's like a race that you're trying to keep up. So this is the way the notes actually look, and then there's a summary at the bottom which mentions the names of the three animals again and gives a few little details about each one. Okay? Now, everything that you see here should look familiar based on what I taught you about this, even though I went through it quickly. There's one thing, though, on here that should not look familiar, because I didn't say anything about it. What is that? Yeah, besides the summary, yeah, is the numbers. Okay, I didn't say anything about numbers, so what is that? Well, I'm going to show you that in a second. Turn to the back side, if you would. These notes are exactly the same as these. Everything is the same, front and back, except one big thing, which is all these little words out to the side. Okay, so if you take a quick look back at your outline for this workshop, you see number 6 there, which says review your notes interactively. Now, how do you think most people review their notes? When they go back to study them, what do you think they do with them? Or what do you do with your notes? Yeah, how do you review them? Yeah, what most people do is they try to read them, figure out what they wrote, and then if they have time after that, what do? Read them again. And then if they have time, they read them again. And they just hope that if they look at it enough that somehow it'll get in their brain and they'll remember it for the test. Well, that's studying your notes, reviewing them, but it's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is interactively, and what that means is this. And I'll show you this example. We take this that's already been taken in the Cornell method and take a blank sheet of paper or your hand or a book or whatever, and you cover up the entire page except for that left column. And then you read the first title out loud to yourself, and then what's the next thing you do? Yeah, you test yourself, right? So you say, okay, and that's what these numbers are. I'm supposed to know 7 things about the arrow poison frog. What are they? And you actually test yourself, and then when you're done, you go back and say, okay, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one wrong. So you make a little note. I forgot that one completely. And so that's what interactive means, is that you're testing yourself, not just staring at them, but testing yourself. And when you cover up the majority of the page, what is this page more like now as a study tool? What do you have? What do you use as a study tool that has 2 sides to it? Yeah, flashcards, right? So you test yourself and you try to learn what's on the back. Well, you don't even have to do that with these because they're actually already in that form. You have one side and the second side. And then, even better than that, even though it's not necessary or required, when we go to the other side, it's a lot easier to test yourself when you have these little words that prompt your memory. Because if you're on the front side, you're just saying, okay, I'm supposed to know 7 things about the arrow poison frog. What are they? And you're trying to remember. Here, you're actually able to say, okay, where do they live? How many types are there? What's the size? And it makes you learn the material faster. And so you always know if your notes are good, if you're able to go back to them later and test yourself from them to get ready for the test. And if you can't really test yourself on them at all you can do is just look at them, they're not very helpful. So this format, the reason I like this format a lot is because then you're able